It is very important that you actually really learn how to spend your money as well, along with the ways that how to make money. My name is Ensha. On this channel, we talk about how to make money online from e-commerce and social media. But in this video, I thought it will be really helpful to share with you my experience if somebody is looking to buy a house. So, the process of applying a mortgage, what are the requirements, and how much money you need to actually save up for your deposit, you will have a clear idea. So, you will be able to set up the goal for you if you know what you actually need to do as well. So, in this video, I will tell you all the requirements, all the process if you're applying for a house mortgage as well. Let's get started. So, first of all, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is there will be a deposit. That's the number one thing. Then you have your credit check, and then you have your personal circumstances where they need to look at how much money you are actually making per year and how much you can actually afford to borrow as well, because you are borrowing money from your mortgage lender. Mortgage lender is going to be someone who will give you the money to buy a house, and you can pay it back plus the interest in the terms of installment per month as well. There is no rule of thumb. It depends on your personal circumstances, but normally the way mortgage lender actually look at how much money they are willing to borrow to you, what they're going to do is, for example, you're making 25,000 pound per year, just for example. 25,000, they're just simply going to multiply that with 5, and then the figure is going to be 125,000. This is somewhere you will be able to get a loan if you are looking at the house, if the price is going to be less than 125,000. Again, I said it's not rule of thumb, but this is something you have to keep in mind. If you have a plan to buy a house which will cost 200,000 pound, then your salary have to be around 40,000 pound as well per year. Then the chances are you will actually get the approval for your mortgage as well. This is the first thing. Again, I said it's not the rule of thumb. There are many other factors which goes into it. For example, how much money you are spending per week, how big is your family, what your expenses are, how stable is your job. But just to get a little bit idea in general, that if you're looking to buy a house, let's say 200,000 pound, your salary have to be 40,000 pounds. So just multiply your salary with a 5, and then you will get the actual figure. Then the next thing is going to be the deposit. So deposit for a house, if you're a first time buyer, then you will have to pay 5% deposit. But nowadays, because the interest rates are so low, nobody actually gonna borrow you the money if you have only 5% deposit. It depends on where you are buying your property as well, but most of the time during these circumstances when the interest rates are very low, mortgage lenders are not very willing to take a lot of risk. So I will say in order for you to have a successful application, you have to have around 15% to 20% deposit towards your first property, which if your house costs 100,000 pounds, then you have to have somewhere between 15,000 to 20,000 pounds for your deposit. So you know how much money you actually need to save up for your deposit as well. So it's just simply keep in mind 15% to 20%. This is how you're actually gonna save up. How is the process? These are the requirements in the terms of if you are working somewhere, they're going to see your last 6-month pay slips. And if you're self-employed, for example, like me, if you're selling on eBay and Amazon, most of the lenders, they prefer to see 2 years tax returns as well. There will be some lender who will be willing to borrow you the money for if you have a 1-year tax return, but the interest rate is going to be high. So I personally suggest the minimum you should have 2-year tax return if you're self-employed as well. So this is like the requirements. You know how much the deposit is going to be, how they're gonna figure out how much I can actually afford as well. Make sure your credit file, your credit score is really clear there as well. So they also gonna see your existing finances as well. If you have a car on a finance, or if you have a loan at the moment and you are paying back installments, all those circumstances goes into consideration as well. So now let me tell you how the process actually work. Once you have your deposit, the first of all, what you're going to do is which will be the case of most of the people, you're going to talk to a mortgage broker. And this is very ideal for you, because if you're a new person, you need to make sure you actually talk to somebody who know what they are doing as well. So there are many out there. You can search them online based on your personal, from recommendation from your friends and family as well. What the mortgage broker does is they are your helping hand, which will take you through all the process as well. They will know what documents need in order for you to have a successful mortgage application. They do a pre-assessment based on your personal circumstances. So you go to a mortgage broker, they're going to check your payslip, they're going to check your tax returns if you're a self-employed, they're going to look at how much deposit you have, how much expenses you have, how much other finances you have, all those sort of things, and they will submit the application to borrow the money from a mortgage lender on your behalf as well. If everything goes through fine, if everything is okay, what's happened is you will get a pre-approval for amount of the money. For example, let's say you applied for £200,000, then you will get a pre-approval letter. I'm not trying to use many technical terminology, but what that basically means is now you have that approval letter in your hand. You can just go to your property agent and you can start looking for the property. Now, what's happened is, let's say you like a house and you made an offer on it, £190,000. You have approval for £200,000. You go back to your lender and you tell them this is the house that you are going to buy. Then what's happened is then they do the assessment on the property, that they make sure you're paying a fair price for the property as well. The lender is going to do the assessment and all the evaluation to see the property actually worth that much. In this process, this is where your solicitors come in as well. Obviously, your mortgage provider, your mortgage lender is the one who will be able to assist you to get a solicitor as well. What the solicitor does here is they make sure all the paperwork, everything which is in place, that the person who is selling a house, they actually own the property, they own the land as well. They make sure all the checks and everything, just make sure everything is halal here, and then they just go ahead and then you are able to get a final approval. And after the final approval, within about 2 weeks, you will actually have your moving dates and all those sort of stuff as well. So that is something you really have to keep in mind. If you want to know how to really make more money online from eBay and Amazon, I actually have a playlist on my channel. Make sure you check them out. They must be popping up on a screen. I will see you there. Thank you so much.